Voynich Manuscript is written in Landa and Khojki scripts. The map shows Samarkand, Bukhara, Khiva in Uzbekistan. The women shown are from Uzbekistan. The jars are called Jandi from Hala in Sindh. The book has been read. I provide substantial proof for each and every section. The book is in Landa and Khojki scripts. I provide the whole alphabet. Ancestors of the author Khawajas were from Uzbekistan, Fergana Valley, Samarkand, Bukhara. The European-looking women are in fact from Uzbekistan. Khawajas in Sindh are merchants who moved to the region during Timurud's rule. Day and night are divided into 15 parts each, and thus the charts have 15 fragments in most cases. Saturn's revolution around the sun brings it for 7.5 years in each zodiac sign. It takes a little more than 28 years to complete one revolution around the sun, and thus there are charts which are dividing sun into 28 parts. Jandi, the jars depicted are called Jandi, and they are from Hala in Sindh region. The map depicts Samarkand, Bukhara and surrounding cities. I truly believe I have read this unreadable book, and my effort and detailed work are not guesses. Please read my explanation, and one of the biggest mysteries has been solved by me. The words have punctuation marks within words represented by a cursive 8-looking character found unique to Landa Khojki. The fort is the Ark Fortress in Bukhara, Uzbekistan, the land of the original author. The language alphabet has been presented word by word, comparing with regional scripts. My name is Sukhwant Singh, and for the past couple of months I have extensively researched in depth on MS-408, better known as the Voynich Manuscript. I hope my explanation will lead to resolving the Voynich Manuscript once and for all. The origins of the Voynich Manuscript lies in 6,000 miles east from its current location. The place is in northeastern Sindh region, which is part of Pakistan right now. The explanation in the Voynich Manuscript is copied from an even older original book written in Brahmi language, which was probably around 3 to 400 BC. The knowledge and the editions of the books were passed through generations of merchants known as Mahajans with Vedic knowledge in ancient Indus Valley civilization, which also gave the name Sindhustan, the Sindh region in particular, which was divided into India and Pakistan in 1947. My friends, a person should be familiar with the nasal phonetics of Sindh region as well as some study of Khojki, Multani, Landa, Khudabadi, Gurmukhi scripts. You see the 8 looking character is actually a punctuation mark. My friends, this is called Jandi, and this is made in Hala in Sindh region of Pakistan. The book is divided into 4 parts as mentioned by the author. I'll give you more details. The book was taken by the holy man from town to town, and based on the knowledge he had, he was the go-to guy and the first person to approach in case of issues like either injury, some depression, bad dreams, marriage, business, hex, etc. And the facts he collected from the inhabitants, customers, this man would then recommend to do things. The book also deals with what kind of woman she is based on the type of hair she has, what type of clothes she wears, and what to expect from a second wife of the husband, etc. What to do if someone has hex on you and how to figure it out, and recommendations for getting rid of the hex. This book is not written for others to read, and it's usually passed from father to son or whom Mahajan trusted and took this person along. I'll give you some background. When the Arab conquered Sindh region in around 711 AD, they started eliminating Sindhi scholars and holy men. And these guys, they used to have these kind of books, and with passage of time, Urdu language was forced upon the region, and the current Sindhi language is written in Urdu script. In early 15th century, Khojki language was used by many to write prayer hymns and guidance songs. The extended use of the script and the underlining Landa script also indicate that the author didn't revise his book into the period's Urdu language but made its knowledge more hidden by superimposing Khawaja Khojki vowel marks on top of Brahmi language. K, ki, ku, ke, kho, khu, gutturals. You can check on Wikipedia what gutturals are. Brahmi language is considered as the main language based on which current Northern Indian languages are based on. It itself is part of Indo-European set of languages whose base is Sanskrit in general. This timeline spans thousands of years from the period of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. This Voynich Manuscript is a very important book and will be another key to bind Roma people with their ancestry in Sindh region. Most likely this book was taken along with the movement of Sindh's migrant population hundreds of years ago as slaves by Arab rulers and were preserved in good condition by the person who took it because the knowledge it would provide and likely the person owning it wanted to one day use it to establish the same respect the merchants of Sindh region held. Roma migration from Sindh region resulted in scores of people being moved as slaves into Turkey and then current Europe. There has been many scientific studies conducted on origins of Roma people. The book landed from Roma person into the hands of Italian rulers as the poor Roma people have faced atrocities throughout Europe and are still facing atrocities all over Europe and were eliminated many times from the countries they tried to settle in. On my website, I am attaching a link to the study which was conducted recently and which tells that Roma people originated from the Sindh region of Pakistan. The main issue to decipher the Voynich Manuscript had to do with the place where the book ended up first, which was in Europe and then in America. Considering the nasal phonetic words particular to Landa language, which is the ancestral language of Khudabadi, Mahajani, Gurmukhi, Khojki and Sindhi languages, these are not spoken in Europe and that for matter they are not spoken in America. My friends, English does not have these sounds at all. And for that matter, it becomes next to impossible to decipher it. And it has created so many false theories for so many years. Englishmen are trying to decipher, saying this is some kind of a code system. Or some people saying it's a false code system. This is not any code system or not even any false code system. This is a Sindhi Mahajan's book. Sindhi persons who migrated are the Roma people in Europe right now. And these people, one of these persons used to carry this book, ended up in front of the Italian ruler, and then the rest of it is history. I will say the alphabet as it sounds like. A, I, U, O, K, Ki, Ku, Kh, Gho, Dh, Jh, T, N, H, P, F, M, L, C, R, Dh, Jh. In America, it being predominantly English-speaking world, it adds to the problem where from ages researchers started emphasizing that the Voynich Manuscript is some sort of minuscule Roman language or some false code system. Believe me, my friends, it is not any false code system. This categorization has hindered the deciphering of the language for such a long time. I'm going to decipher a few paragraphs, and because my background is my mother tongue is not Sindhi, it won't be fair for me to translate the whole book. I'm trying as much as possible with the help of a Sindhi person, and I'll put it on my website as long as I translate more paragraphs. My friends, all over the web there are many websites dedicated to Voynich Manuscript to decipherment. What they're trying to do is decipher, they're thinking this is a code. This is not any code. This is a language. And just because it was found in Italy, it doesn't mean it is an Italian, first of all. And second thing is that there are scores of English professors, people who have English as a mother tongue, they're trying to decipher it, trying to figure out the words, matching it with Bible paragraphs. But let me tell you right now, this is a language, this is a Landa Khojki language, which is whose descendant language is Sindhi, and I will explain to you in the next slides, couple of next slides, how the words really sound. I have deciphered the alphabet to what I think it is, because I belong to Punjab region, and I'm well aware of the cursive writings and the phonetics. This alphabet in Voynich Manuscript contain 4 different character sets from languages spoken in the same way but written in different form. There was no consistency of a set language in the region. The merchants started using 3 to 4 languages mixed in order to hide the contents, depending on the knowledge of the person and the area he traveled. This was done to protect business know-how and maintain superiority at the time. The languages used by the merchants of northwestern Multan and Sindh were Multani and Landa Khojki, Mahajani, apart from other regional dialects. It was what the Sindhu merchants, Mahajans used to do. And this kind of book was very much in demand, and because people relied on auspicious moon cycles, and it was a part of daily life, and it is still in many parts of the world. As you have read about the Voynich Manuscript, there are many places where the things are divided into 15 parts, because the day and night are divided into 15 mahurats, or auspicious times. Year is divided into 12 months based on astrological signs, not January, February, March, etc. The day and night each were divided into 8 parts, each based on Sanskrit astrology. If you see page 67b and 69b, it clearly depicts the division of 8-part segment around sun and moon, which means that the day is divided into 8 parts, sun and moon is the night is divided into 8 parts. The times, days, years were not depicted as in Roman date forms, nor did they have the same timeline of 24 hours. This book is thus written with calculating moon cycles and positioning of 9 planets based on Vedic astrology. Some of these details are in India's archaeological preservations. The characters are also intermingled from dialects in the region, but they sound the same. They mean the same, like cha, ta, jha, ka, kha are written in mixed scripts, which makes it difficult in Voynich Manuscript. The Brahmi scripts usage from which the MS 408 book was copied adds to more complexity, but the words used are common 2 to 3 character words found in recent Devanagari language. This book probably had 1 to 2 readers at the time. Mahajan himself and probably his son or someone else he took along on his business in various towns. Holy men were killed by Arab rulers, and the books were burned so that Arab rule could be established in force, and almost everyone could follow one language, which was Urdu, which is written in Persian script. This book most likely was hidden by the author, and usually people like him belonged to higher caste and had good people connections. These people were respected for their knowledge, and so this book was hidden by this Mahajan, and after probably he was killed by the Arab rulers, and somebody picked up his book and took it along into as slaves in an Arab army, and went into Turkey and then went into Europe. The languages used in MS 408 are there are multiple languages, which are Landa, Brahmi, Multani, Mahajani, Khojki, Gurmukhi. Brahmi language is a very ancient language. Its origins are 3 to 400 BC or even more before that. The Landa language, which became Sindhi, Khudabadi, and Khojki. Khojki language was one of the main languages in which hymns were written during the early 15th century, and there are many characters used from Khojki language, and the Khawaja Khojki vowel marks are used on top of Brahmi language. Ka, ka, ki, ki, ku, ku, kha, 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 kha words, which means that this book was written in early 15th century. Gurmukhi, which is also a descendant of Landa script, there are very few words which are used from Gurmukhi, which tells that this was written before 1430 AD. Okay, the last page, 116V, is written by someone else other than the original writer, as it contains characters from Srada and Jaunsari scripts from mountainous region of southwestern Kashmir, as those few lines are similar to later on what became as a Kashmiri dialect and scriptural language.
Tha Ra Ha Chakde te Hamda Ga Khe Khe gal sadde nanan de kar ai vele A B Ba Bh T Th T Th S P J J Y Ñ Ch Ch H Kh D Dh R Ra Dh J R Ra Dha Ja Sa Sha Sa J T Ja Ga Fa Fa क क ख ग ध गा ड़ा ला मा ना णा वा हा या. A Ti tat saro. My friend, this sound is A. It's like A, O. Dha. Ra. Ba. Ja. Pha. Na. Here is the translation of what I think the first paragraph says. It says many hundreds of years desire, tradition, and as requested by the cultivator from his pouring knowledge and under increasing guidance, To accomplish it is this promise of the interrogation of a field subjects and about those manner for eating, about their power learning from oneself, condition about one under ongoing sufferings, about stuck in those conditions and which has already affected them, learning from them in self-help, either called for, taking care during the issue, or when called by the messenger. One about trees, this information in parts, and about desire, and so on. This word is ki, ne, kinne. This word is shao, ta, shata. This word is de, shata de, kinne shata de. This is number 1, which is ek, I, cha, ichha, ek ichha. Vadha, vadha. Te, I, a, te, I, a. Kahe, kahe. To, dha, le, to, dale. He, ta, heta. Vade, vade. J. This is a S with the E vowel mark on top. This is a very important point in MS 408 and it's very unique. The double standing characters are sitting on top of each other, usually on top of S, which is S. To change it to C, sa, se. This word is re, te, de. Sire, tede. J, I, vade. J, I, vade. To, te. Vab, tewab, tewab cho. De, vare, ek, devare ek. Sesvare, vare, ek. I, vajre, I vajre. Reta, reta, I snehe. San, the, va, te, de. In many places in Voynich Manuscript, it looks like the word has been repeated. Because a Voynich Manuscript is considered as a sacred book by the author, there are no corrections by cutting the words. Just the word is written after the wrong word to read it properly. Cha, pahe, chapahe. Re, je, vapde. Sa, te, I, na, vare. Sa, te, ina, vare. Te, I, sakhe, sa, vade. Si, ve, sade, te, si, tade. Ja se de snehe de. Ja se de snehe de. Ik. The first line over here says Vajla de ki. On page 70V, it says one of the words says Vaishala. Samehe. Okay, how to read the charts on page 69V. If you see, this is a Saturn's cycle of almost 29 years. Separate 28 compartments in the chart, and it spends 7.5 years in each 9 zodiac signs. Mentioned below in the next slides, I have mentioned how the 9 zodiac signs, Saturn spends 7.5 years in all of these 9 signs. All along, many of the researchers, scientists have already said that this book belongs to some Eastern language. This is a Sindhi language book. My friends, there is nothing else than this thing. In this book, it's an astrological book carried by this Sindhu Mahajan, and he used to go from town to town and used to ask people questions and used to recommend things to do. There were no doctors at the time. He was recommending things based on the person's zodiac sign, the person's what the person name was, and calculating moon cycle and his or her age. So over here there are like 9 planets. 9 zodiac signs in all 3 houses: before the moon, containing the moon, and after the moon. It's called Sadde Sati. Sadde Sati. Effects predominantly during Saturn's transit through the house of the moon. Sadde Sati is a 2.4 years period, about 28 months, within the middle range of the Saturn's transit of 96 months. So Saturn, which is Shani, takes 96 months in order to make a revolution around the sun. And it lasts for 7+ years in each of these zodiac signs. There was a study conducted in 2010 labeled Medicinal Plants of Sindh, Indigenous Knowledge and Scientific Facts by Mr. Iqbal Chaudhry and Saifullah Bhullo. And this study can be found on the internet, and it was sponsored by the Department of Planning and Development, Government of Sindh.